Hey everybody, welcome back to Kat's Writing and Reading Nook. So, I originally planned to do Dragon Keeper today for the book review, but I actually ended up DNFing that one because the romance, which was a large part of the book, was just not doing it for me. So, for that one, if you like a lot of really cool world building, an interesting take on dragons, and honestly some really fleshed out characters, go check it out. Just the romance was just the only thing I didn't really like. But I ended up finishing another book in like 2 days because I loved it so much. And it is Under the Earth, Over the Sky by Emily McCosh. And not only is this book absolutely gorgeous, I mean, that's the cover, and I got the hardback because of this. And then if you look at the very back, I mean, like, guys, it's gorgeous. But the story itself is about this Fey Lord named Eomar. And one day he finds this human baby who's essentially been abandoned after the murder of his mother by his father, who Eomar deals fairly dramatic justice to. And so now Eomar is at first with the plan of, okay, I'll take him with me into my realm, but then I'm gonna go find a human family for him and he's gonna be fine there. Then that doesn't work out and he's like, well, I have a kid now. And it's couple that with rumors of a war potentially starting up and these weird shadow creatures that have shown up, and he knows almost everything in his realm and he's never seen them before. So it gets really, really fun. But I loved his relationship with his son and honestly with all of the other characters in the story. I loved McCosh's take on Fae and their perception of time. Like, the entire book has kind of a lackadaisical tone. The pacing isn't too fast, and you're never really sure like how much time has passed exactly. You just know kind of how old the characters are. Sounds weird, but that's what I got out of it. And don't even get me started on the descriptions in this book. Like, y'all. And this one does have romance as well. It's a nice subplot. But this one I like. It's a very soft, might be a good description for this one. But there's a lot of trust between Eomar and the queen over the sky, because he's king under the earth. But it's so very sweet, and you get to see them both interacting with the kid. He does have a name, but just not bringing that up yet because that's kind of important. I also loved the mention of the importance of names when it comes to dealing with Fae. Also, the action sequences are really cool. And I love this book so much. If you love The Mandalorian, this is kind of what Eomar and his son's relationship reminds me of. It's just like, oh, a human. I'm not gonna keep him, but you know, I gotta take him somewhere. Well, I mean, circumstances don't really allow him to go where I think he should go. So what's normal for a human child? What do they eat? Emotions. Okay, we gotta figure out the emotions. What sort of reactions are normal? Like, I haven't been around kids in like centuries, millennia, I don't even know. It's kind of funny and sweet all at the same time. And it kind of has a feel of Howl's Moving Castle, just like the overall tone. Let's see, what else? There's something else, and I can't remember what it was. I'll probably remember it later. But would highly recommend. Oh, adoption. So there's one specific scene in this book where Eomar and his son are talking, and my two youngest siblings were adopted, and we've had kind of a similar experience where you just don't know how they're going to take certain information that you give them. You don't know. You just don't know. And you kind of just figure it out as you go along, and you help them thread through their emotions and their thoughts, and sometimes everybody's crying, sometimes it's just like no big deal. And I love that aspect of this story. So again, I would definitely recommend it. If you like Mandalorian or Howl's Moving Castle, those seem like totally opposite ends of the spectrum, but it's kind of apt for this one. I would say, just based on a lot of the themes and the viewpoint, this book's probably best for adults, maybe teenagers. Just based on everything I've said, everything that is in the book, it'll probably hit best with that age group. But yeah, if you like Fae, The Mandalorian, Howl's Moving Castle, found family, this is the book for you. All right, so this next week could get really, really hectic. So I'm just going to say I will do everything in my power to get a writing video out as well as a book review for The Anatomist's Wife. It's a historical fiction novel that ended up being one of my favorite series, the Lady Darby series. So, let's get a sneak peek of what is to come. Scotland, 1830. Following the death of her husband, Lady Kiara Darby has taken refuge at her sister's estate, finding solace in her passion for painting. But when her hosts throw a house party, for the cream of London society, Kiara is unable to hide from the ire of those who believe her to be as unnatural as her husband, an anatomist who used her artistic talents to suit his own macabre purposes. Kiara wants to put her past aside, but when one of the house guests is murdered, her brother-in-law asks her to utilize her knowledge of human anatomy to aid the insufferable Sebastian Gage, a fellow guest with some experience as an inquiry agent. While Gage is clearly more competent than she first assumed, Kiara isn't about to let her guard down as accusations and rumors swirl. When their search leads them to even more gruesome discoveries, a series of disturbing notes urges her to give up the inquiry. But Kiara is determined to protect her family and prove her innocence, even as she risks becoming the next victim. All right. So I'll hopefully see y'all on Monday. Have a great weekend. See you later, fellow readers.